A reading from St. Matthew's Gospel. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and vermin destroy, where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. I'd like to think about those words from Jesus, from St. Matthew's Gospel. A few years ago, Susie and I had a wonderful holiday in British Columbia. We saw so much. The barren mountains, the beautiful landscapes, the fantastic collection of animals, elk, moose, bears, bald eagles, ground squirrels, chipmunks, all in their natural environment. All this is God's creation in all its beauty. But what I really want to talk about is one of the ghost towns which we saw there. It's a place called Barkerville. Seeing the way in which the people lived and worked there made me think about their lives. In its heyday, in the second half of the 1800s, Barkerville was supposed to have been the most important city north of San Francisco and west of Chicago. Needless to say, the reason for its importance was gold. After the Californian gold rush was over, news got out that a rich gold seams had been found in British Columbia, some 500 miles northeast of Vancouver. The miners left San Francisco in their thousands, came to Vancouver to buy what they needed or could afford before they set out to find their way to Barkerville. The miners would have had to walk, or if they could afford it, ride a horse. Their possessions were few: a bedroll, a shovel, and of course their gold pan. The way was difficult, with initially no marked tracks, through thick woods, and then across snake-infested deserts, then back into the woods. They would sleep on the ground, making a fire to brew coffee and cook whatever food they had. Trading posts were initially few and far between, but soon a string was set up. The men would have had to put up with great hardship on their journey, with high humidity and high summer temperatures, being bitten by black fly or mosquitoes, or the bitter cold of winter with up to 40 feet of snow. Always there was the risk of attack by wild animals. This was hard going, and the journey only undertaken by men who were highly motivated. The motivation, the dream of making a fortune. Needless to say, very few became rich, and many of those who made a modest fortune lost their money to traders who sold them their necessary supplies at inflated prices, or they gambled it away, or had it stolen by other miners. The life was hard and short. The graveyard in Barkerville is filled with men who died in their late 30s or early 40s. What really motivated these men? Why did they lead such hard lives for, on the whole, so poor a return? Was this the way they were made, natural adventurers? Or was it greed? I have a horrible suspicion it was the latter. The desire for the good things of this life, regardless of the cost to their comfort or health. Are we today really also very different to those men? Are we not motivated by the desire for the good things of this world? How many play the lottery each week with money they can be ill afforded in the hope of winning the jackpot? Do not many of us work hard and save into pension funds, pile money into AVCs, or avail ourselves of other saving schemes which promise to make us rich? And when we die, we can take none of our acquired wealth with us. We could well have worn ourselves out, like those miners of long ago, striving for the good things of this life. Our reading from Matthew's Gospel is about peace, the peace which only the love of God can give to us. That peace which can only come from loving God and loving our neighbours. How much inner peace did those early gold miners have in their determination to find material wealth? How much inner peace do we have in our determination to create wealth for ourselves? But what about the next life? The life that Jesus promised would be waiting for us. Will we have built up a substantial credit balance in the next world? Do we put as much effort into doing God's work while we are in this life as we put into making our material gains? Opportunities abound. There are numerous ways in which we can have a rich life here on earth, as well as giving God the love and worship and thanks for all the love that He gives to us, which He so rightly deserves. It's not an either-or scenario. We can have both. We can have that inner peace which the love of God can give us. There's nothing wrong in our efforts to provide for ourselves in this world. All that we must do is consciously decide the way in which we structure our lives, so we make time for God as well as for our other activities. It's up to each of us how we structure our lives, finding a place for God or leaving Him out altogether. The choice is ours. Let's make sure that we make the right choice and find in due course all that God has promised will be ours. Amen.